here, if it's a muscle mass and kind of tighten your muscles, it's a good look. Restriction. Oh, I read that one. Yeah. So let's talk about that. These are, and I love this, by the way. I know you can't. I know. So if you say you try to take command of your morning time, right? Let's do this, because I really, if I can, let's see if I can. Okay. I just invited you to have a conversation because it could really help other people who are literally looking to make a lifestyle change. So you said I've been trying to take command of my morning time, right? What does that mean? So if you're able to jump on and share that, that would be great. So, and then when you do jump on, just tell me your first name so I can address you correctly. Let me make sure my volume is turned up too. Because you could be, yep, of course, it was all the way at the bottom. But in the meantime, like when you take command of your morning or take command of your afternoon, whatever that means in general. Look at that. Connection is choppy again on my laptop. It's insane. I don't even know if we could use the word insane now. Let's see. Times a week, or should I do a split? It really depends. A great question, Ronnie. It really depends on like more of what your goals are. But if you're doing like full body weight lifting, then that's great. The other thing too is let the results kind of tell you the truth. Like if you're doing that right now and you notice that engine, keep on doing that, right? Until you get to a point where you're like, I've been doing it for a couple of weeks or a month and I have not noticed a change. You could have switched up your meals, you could have switched up your hydration, your fasting hours, if you're doing that. But if you start to realize that your body's not changing over the course of time because you're kind of doing the same thing, that's when you want to be able to switch it up. And just from experience, I typically stick to the same routine for about 6 months to a year. And the only thing I'll do is maybe sometime increase the weight. Other than that, I don't try to create all these different wild style workouts. If I know it's working, then I'm gonna continue to do that. All right. And then this way, I don't have to worry about thinking so much of what's new, right? Because new and improved doesn't mean good. It's just new and improved. But let your body tell you the truth. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, Michelle. You got kicked out of the live. That's all right. No problem. Let's see here. Let's see if we can invite you again. Okay. So I just sent you another invite. I have to get some. Okay, there we go. I can hear your voice. I can hear something in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, bro?
So you say you should take command of your morning. What does that mean?
I used to get up and exercise with the kettlebell. You know, most of my weight is this section in my legs.
Okay.
You know, due to like health issues and injury on my job, I had to retire early. I don't do anything in the morning anymore. So I'm trying to get back to that place, you know?
Yeah. But when you say take command of your morning, what does that entail? Like if I said, okay, man, like I want to take command of my morning, can you give me some advice? What would you tell me to do?
Well, I mean, another thing that also, you know, I'm a special needs child, so I'm always like, you know, I'm ready to do stuff, and I'm not really concentrating on what I need to do. You know, it's been all around her. And I basically just would like to just maybe exercise and, you know, get my head right in the morning.
So, but you're drinking the sugary drinks, right? The empty calories, like you said, right?
Yeah, mostly late in the evening, like 8 or 9.
Right. So when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel?
Some mornings I'm like drained.
Okay. Do you think that's coming from the late night stuff that you've been drinking and consuming?
Yeah. Lately I've, attached myself to sugary drinks.
Okay.
And just to cope a little bit.
Okay. So right there, that could be something is like it out right now. If you're like, look, if this habit is causing me to feel a certain way, I don't want to feel that way anymore. So I need to change that habit. Meaning, if the sugary drinks are causing me to wake up and feel drained, I need to start getting rid of the sugary drinks. How to take care of her, I can't give her 100% if I'm feeling 10%. I need to make sure I'm 100% to give her 100%. Therefore, I need to give my body 100% of the nourishment that it needs, the hydration, the sleep, the rest, and recovery. This way, you can take command of your morning and you can take care of her, but you have to take care of yourself first. But you can't do that by giving yourself sugary drinks and empty calories. Impossible.
I started like drinking water, but after a while, I break off from that and like flavored waters, like the salsa waters, and just to try to like cut the sugar out. That'll go good for like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'm back at it again. So
right, and that could come from that quick motivation, that quick start of like, man, like I feel good in a moment, so I'm gonna get back on it. But I think the bigger purpose right now, basically listening to what you're saying, is like, man, I got a special needs child I got to take care of. So there is no way I can get off of this kick. I need to stay on regardless how I feel, right? Because I have someone that's needing my help.
Right.
So how can I pour into her 100% if I'm over here kind of going back off and on? You're not going back off and on with helping her, right?
No.
You can't.
Yeah.
So you got to treat her you got to treat yourself the same way you will with her. Because
it's this, I'm having a problem with consistency.
right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can start now and stay on that for 2 weeks, and then after the third week, get mad. Like, man, please.
Right. But that ties along with the motivation, right? You feel it for a minute, but then you get off. But that's why I'm saying you separate that from purpose, because the habits that you create will fulfill that purpose. But if it's motivation, that comes and goes. So even when you don't feel like staying consistent, you got to get past that feeling. That's just a feeling, but it's not purpose driven. You got to be purpose driven and say, look, like, yeah, it's week 3 now. This is where I typically fall off, but I can't fall off now because I know what my purpose is. And if you define that purpose and you start executing towards that, you ain't going to really have that feeling of, I feel like getting off. You can't. Like, you're in it. Because who else is going to help you?
True. That's true.
So just something to think about. So you was like, okay, what is it that I need to be? Right. And who am I helping? Yeah, I'm helping my out. Got to make sure she's taken care of. So I got to make sure I'm taking care of me. So when week 3 comes around, I really got to make sure I'm not slipping this time. Because if I'm slipping on me, then I'm slipping on her. And that won't fulfill my purpose. Like, you literally have to tell yourself that. And then you execute towards that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, with another thing, when I do start getting into a nice rhythm, then I start having issues like herniated disc.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I want to go hard, I can't go hard no more. It'll trigger something. So that's why I was saying something. I had picked up this book online called The Simple Six. And it just it helped with consistency.
Right.
But I just had to slow myself down for some reason, because every time I get to that point, I either get injured or I have to stop.
Okay. So even if you can't perform the exercise, can you still nourish your body?
Right. I can, yeah.
Okay. So if you get injured, you can still nourish your body. You can still hydrate your body. You can still let your body rest and recover. That may be a temporary setback on the physical side, but everything else, when it comes to how you treat your body, you can still do that.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is, as you continue to do that and you start to feel better, what happens is, like a lot of times when it comes to herniated discs, I got 3 of them, 3 herniated discs, a bulging disc, and arthritis in my spine. Right. But I have to find a way to manage throughout the day. But when my body is inflamed, right, it makes the pain worse. So what do I need to do? I need to make sure that I'm doing time-based eating to let my body rest and recover so the inflammation goes down. Hydrate a lot so I can make sure that I'm getting it out of my body. So this way the recovery is faster. Okay. So then when you start to do that and your body is like, look, like, hey, like I'm over here feeling better and I'm not getting injured as much, then okay, great, cool. Like I could keep going. But if I get injured again, at least I know what to do on feeding myself the right way, nourishing myself, hydrating, getting rest the right way. Because if you keep putting that in front of you and saying, man, you know what, every time this happens, I get injured. Eventually you're going to be like, well, I don't want to do it because I know what's going to happen. And you don't want to do that because you want to get a better body. You want to feel better. You want to look better. You want to do better. You want to give better, right? Right. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of you internally, even if you get injured.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, at one point I was like asking myself, like, just where I'm at. And I mean, eating has never been like a restriction thing for me. I've come from the South. You know, we eat fried food, we do whatever we gotta do, and then we move on. But those kind of habits is kind of like caught up with me now. I'm in my 50s.
Right. So you could come from the South, the North, the East, doesn't matter. Everybody has a body, right? So you got to realize, okay, just because, and of course I'm not downing anything, but you know, it's catching up to you now, right? And now you feel it. So it's like, well, shoot, I still, you know, even though I'm still from the South, I got to change this. Right. And so then what happens is when you start to change it and other people start to see that, they could be from the South and they're going to be like, well, how did you get to that? I had to change it up. Doesn't mean you just exited the South and you just said, forget it. No, but you still got to live for you. Right. So you got to put that into perspective first and foremost. And trust me, when, and of course, this is just full on conversation. If you were sitting right here next to me, when it comes to the whole point of like, you know, I grew up in a Black family, I grew up in a Hispanic family, I grew up in whatever, we still are individuals and we still got to treat ourselves the best, right? Tradition or not. But all of us, like when people say, you know, diabetes runs in our family or this runs in our family, like you could be that person who stops that and say, this ain't gonna run in our family anymore because I found out a way to change that generation moving forward because I took care of me first. All right. So then you just keep doing that. Now you're talking about fulfilling that purpose. That's where it starts. Then you just execute on a daily basis over and over. It's going to take some time, right? Sometimes impatience really does stop someone from getting to where they want to be because they're impatient. They don't see results right away. Myself included in the past. But just know that if you do give it time and you continue to execute and your body is telling you the truth more than anything, meaning you drink those sugary drinks, you're drinking late night, you wake up feeling drained, your body's like, yeah, keep feeding me like this, I'm gonna keep treating you like that, versus I'm gonna hydrate my body, I'm gonna get rest, I'm gonna nourish my body, I'm gonna exercise. Your body's like, thank you very much. You notice how we feel better now? You're like, man, yeah, I do. Yeah. Just keep doing that. Yeah. You know?
You mentioned some time restriction eating. what do you think that's the best way of handling that? Because late night, I'm up, man.
Right. The what that comes from is what you're filling your body up, but you're not nourishing your body. Right. So when you do time-based eating, like I just did a video where people fall for this biggest myth, like, oh, I don't eat past 7. Well, the thing is when you start to nourish your body finally gets satisfied and it's not looking for all these constant cravings. So when I talk a lot about the tea that I'm drinking here, or when I take the balance before I have my biggest meal, what I'm doing is with the balance, I'll just say with the balance, not the tea for now, but with the balance, what I'm doing is I'm nourishing my body with vitamins, minerals, and fibers. Those are your micronutrients. That's what you need. Your body is telling you, nourish me. Don't just feed me with junk, but nourish me. And then when you nourish your body with vitamins, minerals, and fibers, and you give your body proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, your body's like, that's what I've been looking for this whole time. That's what I need. So what happens is your cravings start down, body satisfied. Now you don't have those late night cravings because your body's like, see, this is what I've been telling you I need, versus I'm gonna just keep eating stuff to fill me up, i.e. the fried foods, like you said, coming from the South. So your body is like, man, just keep feeding me because I'm not getting the nourishment, but I need to be fed. Right. And so now you have these late night cravings. Then you're like, man, I'm craving this sugary drink. Then you wake up feeling drained because your body's like, I haven't been nourished yet. But once you start to nourish, then you feel better. So what happens is what I do, and anybody can steal this. So I always tell people to steal my book, go get my book for free, is that when I like right now, if I'm fasting, I sip on my tea. That doesn't break my fast. My insulin levels are staying low. My glucose levels are staying low. That's what you want. Because if you keep going up like this, eventually what happens? Type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, right? So now what I'm doing is I'm sipping on my tea while I'm fasting, insulin, glucose low. When I'm ready to eat, I take my fiber, vitamins, and minerals, my balance. Okay. So when I take that, my body automatically is saying, hey, you just giving me the nutrients that I need. So then what happens is when I take this balance right here, when I take this, instead of my insulin going up and then crashing, it's raising up. When it raises up, that's when you take in your meals, because now you've nourished your digestive system, gut health with vitamins, minerals, and fibers. Then when you do have your meal and your insulin level has gone up, take your snack and then throw it in with your meal. Then when your levels start to come back down a little bit, let your body rest, do the work, do the digestion, get everything out of what it doesn't need, keeps what it needs to now build your body. You repeat that on meal 2. You have this, another meal. Make sure you're giving your body what it needs. Now your body is like, this is what I need. I'm telling you, the cravings will start to go down. Those sugary drinks will start to go down. You'll wake up in the morning feeling so much better because you're feeding your body so much better.
You know what's crazy? That product you have in your hand?
Yeah.
My wife just ordered that, and she's trying to get off the diabetes medication.
Yeah. Metformin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, we both need to go on this.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do that now with the tea and the fiber.
Yeah.
And it's really we're gonna start it.
Yeah.
And it's I know it's the eating. The way we've been eating this for years, it's bad, man.
Right. Right.
After a while, you like, yo, you tell yourself, man, you going off the rails.
Right.
So now we trying to try something different, and I know she's like, I don't want this medication anymore.
Right.
She never liked it.
You know what that's part of, right? That's now part of her new purpose.
Yeah.
Imagine how I would feel not taking this medication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you have a tool to help you fulfill that purpose.
Right.
Right. And then when you do the same thing with her, now you guys are holding each other accountable. And I hope you have a phenomenal coach holding you both accountable and teaching you. So then this way you guys are doing it together and nobody's left behind. That's another important factor to think of too.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess, well, we tried everything. I think we both like kind of like hit the wall. Like, there's something got to change.
Right.
You know, and I basically that's what it is. I've been trying to do it, but that's exercise for years. But
Yeah.
I got injured. That factor was taken from me. You know.
Yeah.
I could go and do some exercise and then drop maybe 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Doing something, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Right. But when I'll give you a perfect example before I head out. I'll give you a perfect example. My mother, she has plantar fasciitis and in her feet. She recovered from two hip surgeries. She couldn't exercise at all. And my mom was the first person that I had try this, because when I tried it for 20 days, I was like, okay, I'm good. How can I help more people? Oh, first person, let me have my mom do this. Because she said that same thing. I've tried everything. Now I'm about to go try Vitamix. I'm going to try this program, this and that. I said, Mom, just try this for like 30 days and let me know how you feel. So the first 2 weeks, 11 pounds dropped off of her body. Then she started to feel more energetic. Then she started to do more around the house, even though she had plantar fasciitis and the hip surgery thing. She didn't go to a gym. She didn't modify her foods. She stayed the same. And when she was taking this on a daily basis, she just realized how much better she felt, which kept her going. And then she was like, there's times where I actually forgot to eat because I'm feeling so good. So long story short, from February 2023 to November 2023, she dropped 61 pounds. She dropped 4 dress sizes and her blood pressure went back to normal. And that's just her body telling her the truth. Right. So remember when I asked you earlier, well, if you get injured, you could still at least take care of your body internally.
Yeah.
Right. So there's still good care. That's the number one goal. Take care of you first.
Yeah, I had to learn that, man. I'm learning it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I've been always a person who just been on the run. You know, I was utility worker for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I was doing things out in the street in reference to electrical cable and stuff like that. But when my body gave out on me, all that stuff that I was doing, the burn calories, stops.
Yep.
Weight jumping hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But now you can get right back on it, man. But I want you to take care of you, dude. And I want you to like follow up with me and be like, hey, like since September 9th, you know, now it's November or October, man, I feel so much better. The waist size went down. I'm not having the sugary drinks. I wake up feeling better. Like I want to hear that from you. So you gotta check in with me, man.
I'll check in with you. I've been running across your lives.
Okay.
I know the one you was talking about getting rid of the I don't want to say the word. I don't want you to get flagged either. The midsection, he was great advice on how to deal with the midsection, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna check him out. That's when I started following him. You know.
Thank you.
I mean, most of your advice I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the stuff we talk about is more on the psychological side than the actual exercise.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I you know, yeah, you could do a routine and stuff like that, but
yeah,
it don't really change my mindset too much with the exercises.
Right.
I think that's what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, I'm dealing with that. You know?
But you ain't alone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's another. I feel isolated too sometimes. Like, what is it? Just me.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate it, man. You talking to me.
Of course. I love doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be back on here again. I have to run into another call, but when I see questions like this or comments like this, sometimes I'll stop the comments and just talk about something that's very serious, right? Because it can help someone. And so today, just real fast, and I'll come back on here and I'll talk about it more. But today I finally launched my community to where now online, like these questions, like it will be a long in-depth conversation. We go more in depth, talking to more people at one time, right? Getting more people involved, because the last thing I want anybody to feel is by themselves when they're trying to change their life. I know what that's like, right? And so what happens is they start to feel down like this. And then it's like, you know what? I've tried everything and nothing works for me. And it's like, no, let me bring people together. Let me start helping more people at once. And then let's hold each other accountable as a group. And then this way we all winning. We're all moving forward. We're all celebrating. Right. So that'll be put on a link of mine, I would say within the next couple of weeks. But just, you know, like you said, you follow me, you watch my stuff, which I appreciate, but just keep eyeballing that. And I'm telling you, it's coming up. So thank you, man. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
Okay. No problem. I'm gonna head on out. Thank you guys. I'll be back on here again tomorrow. Let's continue to rise, God. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, man. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Doom, doom, doom. Thank you very much. And thank you, Wi-Fi, for